If you love dumplings, you cannot afford to miss out on this recipe, my friends. Beautiful, plump prawn dumplings, tangy, spicy Thai sauce, and crispy garlic. Oh, so good. First up, we're going to go with our condiments, and we're going to do the garlic oil first. So a little bit of oil into a saucepan. You know, I often find with Thai food, it's the condiments that you add at the end that make everything so special. Now, the oil is sort of warmish, and I'm going to add in my garlic. Now, don't chop it too fine. I want it quite chunky. Now, you kind of want to keep the garlic moving and dancing around in here a bit. If you sort of let it sit, you get kind of hot spots in that oil and bits of the garlic will burn. Burnt garlic will ruin everything. Now, this is way more garlic oil and crispy garlic than I need for this dish, but I often will use this at the end when I'm stir frying noodles. I'll just drizzle it over the top. If I've got fried rice, I'll drizzle on top of that. A great condiment to have around. Now, the secret here is you want to take it off just before it's done because it will keep cooking in the bowl. So I'm going to pour that out, and you can see it's still sizzling. Now, as that cools down, the garlic chips will become really crispy and a really lovely deep golden color. Condiment number 2, we're going to make a Thai Nam Dim sauce, and I'm going to make a green version today. So I've got 3 big, mildish, sort of large green chilies. This is not the chili that I want for the heat. This is the chili that I want for the color. So slice these down through the middle, and I actually want to take the seeds and the white part out of the chilies for this one because that white pith will kind of dilute the really lovely green color that I'm after. And then I just use a spoon to scrape out the middle part. Okay, now just roughly chop these. They go into my mortar. And the chilies that I want for heat, they're called pekinu in Thai, or bird's eye chilies. And these ones are going to give us the fire. I want 2 of those. They go straight in, and some garlic cloves. And then I'm also going to add some coriander or cilantro root, and the root and stem part has lots of flavor, and it's often used in these kind of chili sauces rather than the leaves, which can tend to have a more sort of bruised herb flavor rather than a fresh coriander flavor. And then always when I'm using my mortar and pestle, I like to add a little bit of salt, not just for the flavor, but because it helps to grind down all the fibers in the vegetables. And away we go. Now, I'm after a very smooth paste here. You could always do this in a food processor as well, but if you have one of these really heavy mortar and pestles, you'll find it's quite easy work because the heavy pestle will do all the work for you. So this is the kind of situation that you're after. And now that I've got my paste, I'm going to add in some fish sauce, some sugar, and then we want some tang, so I'm going to add some lime juice. Just sort of push down on that lime, really release all of the juices inside. Now really give that a good mix. I want that sugar to dissolve and the lime juice and everything to form one nice little sauce. Now let's see how we've gone. Perfect, just a hint of garlic, beautiful spicy chili, but the sweet sort of tang as well. Perfection. Now the dumplings, guys. So I have a couple of little tips here for how to get the exact perfect kind of filling texture that we want. One is going to be about the way we chop the prawns. So I'm going to get all my prawns out here and divide them up. I probably want about 2/3 of the prawns in one pile and 1/3 in another pile. And for the 2/3 of the prawns, I'm going to really finely mince them, very, very fine. And then the other third, I'm just going to cut into very small little pieces. So this is the texture that you're looking for, and I much prefer to hand mince the prawns rather than put them in a food processor. I just find they turn a bit mushy when I put them in the food processor. So that's those ones, and these other ones I just want to slice into small pieces. Okay, just run my knife through again roughly. Okay, so we have our little pieces of prawn, and then we have our minced prawn into a bowl. And now the secret ingredients for the perfect texture. I kind of want like a really smooth, silky, juicy filling. I don't want it to be really firm and really hard. So I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock, which is also going to flavor the filling, and a little bit of cornstarch, which will help to sort of bind everything together and keep it kind of silky. And I want a little dash of sugar, that's going to bring out the sweetness in the prawns, a little dash of white pepper, and then quite a good, decent pinch of salt. And the next secret part here is the way to mix. You've really got to mix this vigorously. You'll see how the texture of this filling changes as we sort of whip it with the chopsticks. Okay, and you'll see we've got quite a wet mixture here, but it is all sticking together. That's just what we want. So for the wrappers, you're looking for wonton wrappers, and you can find these at your Asian grocer and a lot of supermarkets now. And what I want is a little bit of that filling in the middle. Now the idea here is that we want, yes, a really good amount of really delicious prawn filling, but I also want quite a bit of that wrapper, because it's almost going to be like, I don't know, like a kind of wide noodle kind of texture. So you kind of want a long frilly tail here. And you don't need to be too fussy with the folding for this one, just kind of smush it together. So at this point you can go ahead and freeze these on the tray. Freeze them on the tray first until they're firm, then you can put them into a bag afterwards, otherwise they get all stuck together and that's not good for anyone. But I'm going to cook these straight away, so you just need some boiling water and slide these little guys in. And just as you're putting them in, just kind of give them a bit of a stir, make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. Now what you want to do with these is cook, plate and eat. They will sort of get a bit firm and a bit sticky if you kind of leave them lying around. But you know, eating some dumplings in a hurry has never been a problem for me. Okay, these are looking good, so just pick them up, drain them straight out onto a plate. And now for our special condiment part. Okay, so a little trick to this. Start with a little bit of the oil first. So leave the garlic chips and just oil up those little dumplings. Then go in with your green chili sauce. Don't be scared of that, we want some spice here. And then finally scoop up some of those crispy golden garlic bits, and they just get sprinkled all over the top. And that, my friends, is one epic dumpling dish. Don't miss this one. Well, it just would be criminal not to try it out. Combination is so epic. Crispy garlic, juicy pop of prawn, tangy sauce.